Hello. Can you believe that it's already another month gone by and it's time for Tarotscopes and pick a card divination? So first what I'm going to do, like I usually do, is shuffle our cards all up, and I'm going to pick 3 cards, and that's going to be love. I'll put the rose quartz on there so we know it's love. And 3 cards, these 3 together, for money. Put the money one on there. And then 3 cards for health. And these 3 cards for spirituality. So put the clear quartz on there. All right, so if you've dropped by today to this program, it's our monthly Tarotscopes where I combine planets and cards and write a little overview for the month coming up, which will be February 2023. And then I write like a horoscope, but a Tarotscope for each of the individual signs. But in the beginning of the program, I do pick a card, any card. So if you've shown up here and you have a question that involves either romance, finance, health, or spirituality, you are not here by accident, and maybe you want to listen to what the cards have to say. Even if it's not February 2023, if you've shown up here, there's always a reason. So these first 3 cards are romance cards. Well, it certainly looks to me like there's a bit of miscommunication, misunderstanding. Just really one person saying A, the other person hearing B. And, you know, a lot of times I'll talk about the 6-9 scenario where 2 people are standing opposite each other and one says it's a 6 and the other one says you are clearly crazy, it's a 9. And they have this huge argument because they can only see from where they're standing, and it really destroys their communication. So sometimes it's okay to voice your opinion and to be very stern or stubborn about it, and other times really being married to your opinion just because of your perspective can really alienate the other person. Now, this makes me think that somebody's better at arguing than the other, right? So one person might completely keep jabbing, it's a 6, it's a 6, it's a 6, I'm going to beat this 6 into you kind of thing. You're going to believe me because I can see it's plain and simple. And the other person might be like, well, you know, I absolutely know it's a 9, but I'm not going to argue. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to break off this toxic relationship. So if you're having some sort of difficulty within a relationship, I think that the best process for you would be discovering a different perspective. So instead of continuing to argue, fuel the fire, or press your point of view, change your perspective and say, let's look at this together from a whole different vantage point. I'll meet you in the middle and we'll have a look. Oh, you know what? We were both right and we were both wrong for arguing about it. So I think that the outcome could be good if each person kind of looks into what the other person is really feeling, seeing, or their point of view. You know, sometimes people are raised very differently. Sometimes people have different values. And sometimes they have different ways of expressing themselves or not expressing themselves. So in order to make this relationship work and have the outcome that you're looking for, communication has to be repaired first, and then an understanding of really where the other person is coming from. You know, they might say to you, well, I never argued before because nobody ever pressed me before. Or my point of view is how I grew up, and this is what I learned. You learn what you live, and this is what I was taught. So I have no reason to believe it wasn't a 9, you know? So the romance cards for this month show that there is some tension and stress and miscommunication and badgering, but that with a little self-discovery and a little discovery of others, things can be worked out for the positive. So not so bad in the end. Okay, our finance cards. Well, we really couldn't have better. All right. This is also kind of a card of perspective, right? We can see this person is their own worst enemy. They're really kind of down. They're looking down. They're focused on all the water that's passed under the bridge already. They're focused on the 3 cups that are spilled that they're never going to get back. And while they're doing that, living under this gray, cloudy sky, they're missing out on the cups that are still filled behind them. There's all that opportunity and acumen and education and prosperity and, all kinds of things that they're not even looking at. And I think that's what I'll remind most people about. If you really want to be successful, imagine success. You have to achieve peace of mind somehow, right? So instead of saying, I have no idea how I'm going to pay my bills this month, you've just told the universe you don't want to pay your bills this month. You say, okay, I trust that all of my bills are going to be paid on time. I'm resourceful. I am wonderful at what I do. I know I'm going to be paid what I'm worth. And just kind of bring yourself to that place of peace of mind, of abundance. The other thing I'd like to remind you is the universe is infinitely abundant. And just because you are being successful and prospering doesn't mean that somebody else is going without on your behalf. If someone around you isn't doing well, it's probably because they're not putting any time, effort, or energy into it, or they haven't learned the lesson of how to talk well about themselves to the universe. So the universe is infinitely abundant. There is more than enough for everybody. Never feel guilty that you are looking to be successful. In fact, quite the opposite. Let go of the guilt and the negativity and the things that block you. Say things like, I release any obstacles in my way towards financial success, and I believe I am achieving financial success. All of my bills will be paid on time, or something that has an air of positive and gratitude about it. And the outcome card, when you achieve this, is one of the best prosperity cards in the deck. So I think if you had a prosperity question this month, the outcome is really good. But understand you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Put in some time and effort and energy, and put in some positive thoughts. Before you go to sleep at night, just think, money is flowing to me in all good ways. I deserve to be wealthy. Whatever it is that's positive. Not, oh, I don't know why I didn't make any. Stop it. Be positive. Focus on the good. Focus on success. Don't worry about what's gone in the past. I tell people, look, we can take the lesson from it, but it doesn't have to cloud our future. All right, so that was prosperity. Next up, health. Well, I'm going to say that, again, the path is difficult, but the outcome is good. So this is reminding you, I know that these are money cards, but we translate them into a health answer. So this is about investments. And I believe that this is a message that it's high time to invest in your health. It's high time to invest in nutritious food. It's high time to invest in a decent eating routine. So many of us work so hard that we think, oh, I'll have a cup of coffee this morning. Oh gosh, it's midnight. I guess I'll just eat a bowl of macaroni and cheese and go to bed. Yeah. So this card is saying, look, it's time to do a little research, maybe look into what body type you are, Ayurvedic eating, blood type eating, or just whatever that's going to give you the nutrition for your age group or dis-ease or ailments, whatever it is. So this is about investing in taking care of yourself. And this is a reminder that if you don't do it soon, you may not be feeling better. You may be starting to feel a little bit worse. And, I guess in the end, the only person who really has control over your body is you. You can go to the nutritionalist and listen to everything that they have to say, but if you don't follow what they have to say, you may not get well. You can seek whatever kind of treatment or therapy, but if you don't pay attention and fuel your body, mind, and spirit properly, you may feel worse instead of better. But this does give us a time frame, and since this is February, I'm going to say that this is the card that represents the Aries time of year, which is mid-March. So if you get on this now, within a month, you could be in a pattern of healthy habits, things that make you feel better, and, you could see yourself starting to improve your health. And again, just focusing on the subconscious, coming along for the ride. I am healthy. I am thin. I am feeling better every day, and just, again, mind, body, spirit. But what is the fuel you're giving your body? If you're eating Starbucks and cookies and whatever, you're not fueling your body with something decent. You need something for good energy. And again, maybe you're the type of person that has some kind of glycemic thing, and you need to plan out how you're going to eat and when you're going to eat and what you're going to eat. But if you do that, within a month, you can be in a new set of really good habits that make you feel well. All right, and for our spirituality, this time we have, very nice. This card is the minor arcana, like Justice card or Libra card. And I think that there is an opportunity or an offering here to bring or find a balance. Many times when people want to work on their spirituality, they try to shut everything else out and just do that deep dive, and that's all they worry about. That's all they're focused on. That's all they're going to do is just dig into their books and divination tools and whatever else they're going to do. But this is kind of a card that's saying, if you can find a balance between the mundane and the spiritual, you can really feel like you're achieving something. So that might be finding someone to work with, or creating like a little family kind of group to work with, and having a schedule, right? So my spiritual group is going to meet once a week on Saturday. Just an example. So Monday through Friday, I'm going to do my mundane thing. I'm going to go to work, or I'm going to work from home, or I'm going to do my housework, or I'm going to do all the things that I have to do for whoever else I'm obligated to, or whatever else I'm obligated to. And then on Saturday, I'm going to immerse myself in my spirituality. I'm going to go to ritual, or I'm going to go to meditation, or whatever it is, with my tribe. Find that balance, and the outcome is magical. So there you have it. I think finding balance for your spirituality and the mundane is magic. All right. So without further ado, let me just put these away, and we will get to the Tarotscopes for February 2023. Now I must be more studious and put on my glasses. All right. So probably by now you have heard that we are in the Chinese New Year, the year of the water rabbit. May we all be blessed with peace, prosperity, and good health. These are all wonderful things that the water rabbit has to offer us. Things should really be starting to move forward as well, because all of the planets are direct this month, and next month too. So if you thought time was flying by before, just watch what happens now. Definitely time to take your vitamins. I would like to offer that now is a great time for you to finish up any old business. Release that which no longer serves you and plant some really good seeds. Seeds that you will nurture into wonderful new projects and happiness. It's time to begin doing something you love and taking better care of yourself. It's interesting that that was the theme of the cards that we have. You have the ability now to really make things happen. Get yourself into that forward stream of consciousness. Aries, Page of Wands. Sorry, but you may have to revisit some old business that you thought was taken care of. It should be a little easier this time as you now have some experience with the situation, and at least this go round you have players accounted for. Sorry. You know who's in the game. Be strong and work hard to get your point across. Don't back down just because you don't want a confrontation or you don't want to seem like the bad guy. Work to get others accountable for their actions and hang tough. You may also have to finally pay attention to a health issue in order to heal and feel better for all the work that's ahead of you in 2023. Taurus, 10 of Wands. It seems like you have so much on your mind and are working hard to accomplish things. Keep in mind, if you continue allowing others to add to your list, even though you're working as hard as you can, the list is not going to get any shorter. It is well past time to make others do for themselves. I know, Taurus, tough. Sometimes helping is really more like enabling a situation to continue that really should be resolved. For this month especially, just pay attention to your own obligations and let others deal with theirs. You don't have to be mean, but it's time to be firm. Gemini, Page of Pentacles. With Mars finally going direct in your sign, things should be looking a little bit brighter for you. I think everybody kind of feel that this Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde lifted off of them, but especially for Gemini. I know it seemed like you've been dancing as fast as you can and just standing still. And that should be just about over, and some real headway should be made this month. You will still have to stay very organized and pay close attention. Close attention to deadlines and obligations in order to stay ahead, or at least be caught up. But things should fall no further behind now, and by month's end, I bet you feel a lot brighter about pretty much everything. Cancer, Knight of Wands. Okay, what are you waiting for? It's high time to get going and be more like that person that you want to be. You have set some hard to reach goals, and maybe you're feeling a little like none of them are really achievable. You have to know that that's just not true. You are a very strong and resourceful person, and it's your time to shine. Pick a few things and really take a couple of steps instead of just continuing to make longer lists. Give yourself a reasonable deadline. Stick to the deadline. You'll be so much happier when you reach a few milestones. You'll feel like you accomplished something. Best wishes. Leo, 7 of Wands. Ever see that game Whack the Mole? A lot of times when I talk about this card, I talk about that game. Well, the good news is you're in a good space to play pay really close attention while you play the game. You can pay close attention to many things. You will keep your head above water. When you look at this card, notice that the game player is wearing the color of prosperity and wealth, green. I predict you will get everything done that you're working on and even have a little time left over for yourself, and possibly have some money and energy to go with that time. Saturn can bring you to a new place in life these next few months as it moves from opposition on into the sign of Pisces. Try to make the best of this change and rise to your decision making. Virgo, 9 of Swords. Your current situation may be a little bit worrisome. Try to keep things clear in your mind, like deadlines and all your serious responsibilities. Remember, think solutions, as just worrying about things is really manifesting in reverse, and it doesn't do anyone any good. You're strong and resourceful too, and I'm sure you will come up with many clear solutions, some clever ideas. You just have to think positive, Virgo. Where health is concerned, it might be time to begin a new lifestyle. Nutrition could be the key, not just what you eat, but what you're feeding your mind. Remember, think positive. Libra, the Magician. Good to see you're back on top of your game, dear Libra, and none too soon, as this month could prove to be a little bit of a challenge. Someone you have taken on responsibility for, be it a child, a parent, significant other, or even group work, could really be putting your strength to the test. You may be required to speak on someone else's behalf, or even argue some of their points for them. Take it easy, though. It's important that you don't let your temper get the best of you, or no one will respond in the way you hope. Scorpio, Knight of Pentacles. Don't worry that things you've planned are off to a slow start. Sometimes a lot of groundwork has to be done, and sometimes it takes longer than you expect to build the firm foundation that you would like to work from. I think you will have a much clearer picture of your work by the month's end, and you'll be a lot happier with the direction that things are moving in by then. Sagittarius, Temperance. Your motto this month should be, don't let the jerks get you down. It might seem like everyone around you is out to frustrate you, to frustrate the living crap out of you. No one really seems to be interested in meeting their responsibilities, their deadlines, or being organized. Work very hard to keep your cool. I know you usually do, but you're really going to be put to the test. So if you can keep your cool in the long run, you will have success. Business partners may be the worst offenders. It's always good to have a plan B and be accountable for yourself. Make them be responsible. Good luck, Sag. Be calm. Capricorn, 7 of Swords. You need to keep your guard up for just a little longer. Don't be fooled by those wishing to manipulate you or pull passive-aggressive behavior to try and stick it to you or cheat you. You need to make a plan that works for you and then focus on it. Don't let someone sway you by painting an unrealistic picture, or you may end up losing something important or going backwards rather quickly. So be firm, use the skills that you've learned. It's time to shine. Aquarius, Death, change and renewal. This month brings Mercury for a really nice visit. I feel that you could be making a very detailed decision and working to make the best of some kind of difficult situations. You must remember that you are a positive and loving person. Find energy to be kind to yourself and rest so that you can stay in touch with everything you need to pay close attention to. In the long run, you will love the way things turn out. It's just this journey that may not be up to your usual pleasure, but you are strong and you can transform. Pisces, the moon. You may find you're a little more aggressive than usual this month. Try to hold back a little bit if you can, so you don't end up burning a bridge. You may also uncover some untruths that upset you. But again, work hard to get to the bottom of it all in a peaceful manner, or you may end up biting off your nose to spite your face. Above all, be cautious not to repeat gossip. Certainly not before you've verified it to be truth. Be sure you don't get caught in someone else's mess. Now, I always say, if you know your rising sign, you should listen to that scope as well and kind of combine the two energies. I hope that some of this has helped you. And again, if you've come by this Tarotscope, you belong here, and you should listen to those 4 messages in the beginning. Thank you so much, everybody. Peace and blessed be.